Hello guys and welcome to today's video. Today I want to talk about the things you need to know before getting into PC gaming. So let's get into it. Firstly, do you want to buy a pre-built? Are you going to buy your own PC? You may be able to buy a pre-built PC at a very good price these days, whereas if you build, you may roughly pay slightly the same, or just a little bit less. What I would recommend though is potentially shopping around for all the different components for your PC, because you can find graphics cards different places online that are gonna sell them a little bit cheaper. So if you're gonna build your own PC, I would recommend you do a bit of shopping around on the internet first. In my experience, I managed to pick up quite a good pre-built PC, a 1060 i5 processor, all the bells and whistles, and I picked it up at a relatively cheap price. It was, well, I say cheap, but it was about £800. If I was going to build that myself, well, I was looking roughly at about sort of the same cost, give or take around about £50. I didn't do a lot of shopping around, but I just didn't want to have the hassle of having to put my own computer together. I could do it, don't get me wrong. However, I didn't want any trouble if just in case parts came and they were damaged, broken, and whatnot. So really, you need to weigh up what's going to be best for yourself. Do you want to shop around and try and find the best price components that you possibly can, or do you want to just try and find the best PC for your money at the best price? It's quite easy. You've got plenty of websites these days. You've got eBuyer, but again, you could search for components on there. So you need to weigh up what's going to be best for yourself. So that leads me on to my next point quite nicely. Now I want to talk about the hardware requirements of your PC. Now it's pointless you going for a 1080 a graphics card if you're only going to go play Counter-Strike. If you want to go and play Battlefield 1, the best frame rates possible, the best quality possible, go for a 1080, go for a 1070. You need to sort of tailor your build or your PC for what you want to get out of it. One little thing I would like to mention as well is the actual monitor that you're going to buy. Now there are quite a wide range of sort of monitors on the market at the moment. Now if you're going to go and buy a 1060 graphics card that can output 1080 very well, 60 frames a second, then just go with a 1080 monitor. If you want to look at start getting into 2K gaming, 4K gaming, look at 1070s, 1080s and upwards. You need to tailor what graphics card you're going to buy for your monitor, or vice versa. If you want a 32-inch monitor that you want to get on 4K, you're going to have to get a decent graphics card. So in terms of processors, these days you don't need a lot more than sort of an i5. You go for an i7 if you're streaming, doing a lot of video editing, things like that as well. But I'd stick with a decent i5 processor. In terms of RAM as well, you don't need a lot more than 8 gig. You can go for a bit more than that if you want. If you're doing video editing, multitasking on your computer, things like that, again, streaming, then why not go for 16 gig? But these days, you can get away with 8 gigabytes, no problem whatsoever. One other thing you really need to consider is whether you're going to get a good set of headphones, or if you're going to go and get some speakers, or even both. I mean, you need the headphones for gaming, and you could have, some speakers for if you ever want to watch movies or something. If you've got a nice 32-inch monitor, you can kick back, relax, jump on your bed or something, watch a nice movie or something at the same time. So it's always good to have, good set of speakers and some headphones at the same time, in my opinion. There was one issue that I really overlooked when I was buying my gaming PC, and that was the connection type that I was going to go with. And in terms of that, it was either wireless, just direct Ethernet cable, or power line adapters. I went with the latter in the end. I went with power line adapters, and I was very skeptical as to whether these were going to work properly. But I plugged them in the first day that I got my computer. I was, very excited, plugged them in, got it all set up. I was a little bit sort of disappointed. The connection was dropping in and out all of the time. I was getting massive lag spikes online when I was playing games, but I changed the plugs around, changed the sockets around, and I have never had such a good internet connection. And this is something you really need to take into consideration when you're buying your gaming computer. I would always recommend you go for some sort of direct connection. If you go for a wireless connection, if you get a Wi-Fi card or a wireless dongle, for example, you're at the mercy of that wireless connection, and you want the most stable connection you can possibly get. I would really advocate the power line adapters. They are fantastic in what they're able to achieve. My wireless connection in my home isn't the best, but this power line adapter has really got the job done for me. There is one major point that I haven't covered yet, and that is games. Games these days, the files are absolutely humongous. Take Battlefield 1 for example. You're looking at around about 51 gig, to get that installed on your computer. Luckily, I've got a decent internet connection, and I managed to get that downloaded in about 3 hours. But if you want to play the latest games these days, and they're 50 gig, 40, 50, 60 gigabytes in file size, you need to sort of accommodate for that. You need a good internet connection, or you need to be leaving your PC on day and night to download these files if you're out in the sticks in the middle of the countryside. So there are just a few of the things that I wanted to cover today in this video just for you guys. It's some of the things that don't often get covered here on YouTube, so I wanted just to cover these things for you, just to give you a bit of an idea of what goes into buying a gaming PC. And also, as you're watching this, you're probably going to be buying a gaming PC soon, so go ahead, buy one. It'll be the best decision you've ever done. So just before you go, please hit that subscribe button and that like button as well. It would definitely help me out so much, and hopefully one day I can quit my job. Nice one.